Tristan James Gilkinson. I'm talking here with the acting crew on the Grumpus 2. I'm going to be talking with the casting crew what's going on behind the scenes. What is the difference of your job in Grumpus 1 and Grumpus 2?
It was the same, actually. This time I had a little bit more help on the microphone, but I co-wrote the script with my wife Trish, and some help from the cast. The kids helped write the script and the story, and then we planned it out and we produced a movie. The first phase was coordinating everybody to get filming. There's 7 families. Everybody has hockey practice and school and everything, so getting everybody together to actually film the movie, to film the shots, was really difficult to do. And the editing of trying to do this movie in such a short amount of time is really hard to get done, so there's been a lot of long nights editing.
What do you have to get ready before people come?
To the show, you mean to the screening, the first premiere? Well, we're still editing the movie, so we have to put all the clips together and we have to make sure the sound sounds good. I have a friend of mine, Will McReynolds, who's doing the special effects stuff for the fairy world, all the magic and all of the kind of the neat special effects that we're gonna do, and that's taking up a lot of time. So we have to get all that completed before we can finish rendering out the final movie and we can show it to everybody.
Are you going to have to put fairies in there? Because if you're calling it the fairy world, there must be a few fairies in there.
Well, we call the Grumpus. He's like a fairy. He's a goblin kind of creature. He's not really bad, but he's not very good. He's kind of mischievous, and so he lives in this special little world that we've created for him. We shot everything in an old barn with some green screens. We're using special effects to try to make the cast look like they're in a whole totally different world.
So what's the difference between Grumpus 1 and Grumpus 2?
The first story in Grumpus 1 was all about the Grumpus appearing when a present was opened. It took place right before Christmas time, and it was something that caused an adventure for the parents to go and try to save the kids, and turned out that the kids had to save the parents. In this movie, we're starting off a year later, right before December, so this is the last weekend of November, so before the Grumpus is really active. He's still kind of hibernating and sleeping, we hope. And so the dads are going in there to try to find one of the kids that was taken last year.
Do you have to do some special decorating?
Oh, to set design or set decoration, we had to create a whole world to film in. So we had to put up big green sheets on this barn, set up tables in the basement of one house where all these clues are for the kids to find. So we had to make big maps with strings, and we had some of the cast and crew help put all that together, which was really awesome. Kim Scott and the Scott family helped, donated their basement. This time we shot in around Jones Falls, which is a little bit closer, and had a really nice woods that we could run through when there's a chase scene in the movie. We also went to a really neat location, this old house by Inglis Falls, owned by Barry Moore. So it's got these interesting old antiques in there, and we shot in that space, which made it really, really cool and kind of a neat feeling for the movie.
What's your job and what you have to do to set up stuff?
My job with the movie was to help with the script, to help with the story, and driving kids to the different sets, and then keeping Dan caffeinated.
Do you have to do some important jobs in the movie?
Well, my job was keeping Marin entertained. She had to do a lot of waiting around while there was lots of stuff going on, and then she'd just have little parts.
What's the hardest job for you to do?
Well, I live with the director. I like when we get to go to the premiere and watch it all together. So I like when Dan has everything cut together and then he gets to show me the little parts. And then I get to say, no, take that out.
We're on the set here at the Grumpus 2. We're going to interview some of the cast. What have you had to do in the show in the few shots?
Well, I had to save my sister from a cliff, and I had to go out and get the Grumpus.
My sister had to save me and my brother from falling off a cliff, defeat the Grumpus, and get the dads back.
We have to run around, pretend like we're having fun, and pretend like we're sad, and that kind of stuff.
Try to defeat the Grumpus.
We had to act like it was realistic, and we had fun.
You have to find the Grumpus and try and banish him back to the fairy world using all of the dads and the mums and all the kids.
My sister.
Right here.
Okay.
You gotta be kidding me. You did that.
I am one of the fathers who go on the adventure to try and save Jack and get him back.
My role in Grumpus 2 is I am the father of Jack, who gets stolen by the Grumpus and taken to the fairy world. So I have to get help from all the dads of the kids and go get my son Jack back from the Grumpus.
I'm one of the dads that gets tries to rescue Jack but gets captured.
I play myself, and I'm kind of the leader of the big kids pack.
My part is as the older kid, me and Maggie and Jade, we have to first rescue the smaller children, and then we've got to go get the dads.
What is the difference in between Grumpus 1 and Grumpus 2?
Well, I think the difference is that Grumpus 2 was a bit darker and more scary. This year was more about the kids.
It's longer, and we get to defeat the Grumpus instead of the dads.
Well, the major difference is that the Grumpus is about a foot taller, and he has a beard, and he has to shave, and he's about 4 sizes of shoes larger than last year.
More special effects and more wow.
What was your favorite thing in the Grumpus movie?
Well, I liked filming at the Moore house. I liked the Moore house when we filmed there. The maze was pretty cool.
My most favorite was when we went to that big house.
I probably liked doing the gear up scene, like the and everything else, the goggles.
Probably doing the scenes outside.
I know it's a lot of fun, like creating the bloopers and stuff.
At Jones Falls, running away from the Grumpus, when Hayden falls and does a face plant, that was pretty fun.
The parties after we shoot are fun because there's lots of food and drinks. So we have fun doing that. That's easy. And actually watching it at the big screen is going to be fun too. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, I just like acting. It's fun. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of laughs.
I think I like watching everybody else.
What is the hardest part you have to do?
Spooning.
What do you like doing the most?
Spooning.
The hardest part is acting with Pat Hoy. No, I'm just kidding. Since I'm not really an actor, sometimes it's hard to act because I don't know exactly how to do it. But our director is very good, so he walks us through all that stuff. And it's not glamorous like the movies where it's all glamour. There's a lot of you have to do the same thing over and over and over again.
Maybe escaping. Remembering all the lines and remembering what you have to do when you have to do it.
Probably just my acting, I need to work on my acting a little bit.
Try not to laugh sometimes, maybe.
It's more about the kids this year, so that's a little bit harder.
Making it look like it was real.
Probably when I had to help my sister off the cliff because she was really heavy.
Those are all good observations.
Thank you.
Do you have to trap the Grumpus? Yeah. What did you have to do in the Grumpus?
Well, I had to do quite a lot of acting, but it wasn't that bad because I didn't have to act any specific way because the Grumpus was purely fictional.
You have a lot of makeup on. How long does that take to get all on?
Well, the first time I did it, that was last year. It took about an hour because we had to paint the ears, the nose, and the chin as well. But this year it only takes 30 to 40 minutes.
Do you have any other advice from other people that want to get into the movie?
But you have to have lots of patience, especially if you're going to put on a lot of makeup.
What was the hardest thing?
As the Grumpus?
Yeah.
Probably the laugh. That's not easy, and I still got to work on it, but I'll get better, I hope.
To get the Grumpus ready, we start with some of this stuff here called spirit gum, and that is what we use to stick on his ears and nose and chin. We use some of this stuff, which is called liquid latex, so that we seal up all the cracks around the ears and the nose and the chin. We use this blue paint to color in his whole face. Once that's done, we have to get inside of his ears and in the cracks of his eyes and all that. And when we're done that, we add some shading with this black stuff, that one right there, all around the eyes and around the chin and around the nose a little bit. Can you see it on there? So it takes a little bit of time, and it's a bit of a learning curve, but we're getting good at it now.
This is the look behind the scenes of the new Grumpus 2.